NBC Sports coverage of the NFL has us at the foot of the Rockies, just west of downtown Denver at Empower Field at Mile High. Just a short time ago, sounds loud enough to reverberate across the Rockies. They're ready for football in Denver as the Broncos get set to do battle with the Los Angeles Chargers. And off we go from Denver. Pulls it in at the 13. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25.
At their own 26-yard line.
First carry for Austin Ekeler, who's a Colorado native. And they're able to get this one across the 35.
Well, there's plenty of real estate for him to maneuver on that run. And let's face it, it shouldn't be a surprise. He's one of the better backs in the league. Had to come into this game with the idea, slow him down. Otherwise, it's going to be a long afternoon.
First down, and they stick with Ekeler. And he's dropped right at the 40. Gain of 3.
Give credit to the defense for stringing that play out, and they gave up no cutback angle. You know he was trying to dart through. No place for him to go. A nice job there, only giving up a 3-yard gain.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Back to throw here, Herbert. This is caught by Williams. And he goes out of bounds. It looks like right at the 50.
Justin Herbert looking comfortable here in season number 2. He looked comfortable in season number 1 for that matter. But what's the game plan for defending and trying to limit him?
Oh, you've asked a really difficult question there because you're right. Year 1, he looked like a 5-7-year veteran, and he's only going to continue to get better. But with a guy who throws such a pretty ball and has such a great arm, throwing the long ball has got to be a blast for him. He wants to push the ball downfield. Doesn't mean he can't make all the other throws, but I want to take those away first and make him beat me by being accurate and dinking and dunking all the way downfield.
So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. Herbert will give this one to Ekeler. And they get to him after a gain of 6 to the 46.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
So still 14 yards to go, 2nd down.
Now it's Herbert. Big loss here as he's taken down. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sack. And some secondary help here for the defense in the nickel on 3rd and long. Now Herbert with it, looking to pass. That's complete to Austin Ekeler, the running back. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. A crazy sequence here. A huge gain that time, but it still leaves him well short for 4th down. On 4th down, J.K. Scott ready to punt it away. Back deep, Jakeem Graham. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. That one sails out of bounds. The side judge will walk it off. And he says it went out of bounds at the 9-yard line. Nice punt. So well done there. And these punters, they get more specialized and better each and every year, don't they?
They sure do. And now it's really not the American punters. It's the Australian punters with their kicking academies and that flat drop and just kind of kicking the nose of the football. They're able to almost stop it where they want to, like a good golfer can check one up.
He was brought down by Michael Davis. Still 9 remaining on 2nd down.
They try the left side here with Williams. And not much there at all as he'll get this only up to about the 11. 2 runs in a row, only 2 yards to show for it.
Well, this defense for the Chargers, they were excellent a week ago in the win over Pittsburgh.
Yeah, and what stood out to me on tape, the way they were flying to the football. So that tells me that they've got all their assignments down, and they're playing with extreme confidence.
On 3rd down, Winston. Man open, that's Calvin Ridley. And he'll be out of bounds near the 30. In fact, right on the 30.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
It was Joey Bosa working his way in to bust that one up. After the loss, they'll come up 2nd and 13. On play action, Winston. And the Chargers rush is going to get there. Down he goes. That's sacked by Khalil Mack.
Well, on that one, they go with a play fake, CD, but I don't think anybody really was fooled. All eyes were fixated on the quarterback, and they got him to the ground.
And to run this play successfully, you've got to make sure that everyone is doing their part. You actually have to sell this play. You got to sell the run action.
Oh, a leap, and he will make the catch. And they finally get him, but not before he reaches the 33-yard line. A huge play there for Denver. On 1st and 10, Winston. This one complete to Jerry Jeudy. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion that would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
5 yards on 1st down, but now just a 1-yard pickup there on 2nd. This will be the 8th play of the drive here. 3rd and 4. Now Winston. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Ingram. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9.
Boy, this is a well-orchestrated drive they've put together. You think back to how far they were backed up to start things out, but they've gone on a march since then. And now after that completion there, they've got a 1st and goal.
So 1st and goal from the 9-yard line. They'll try and run. This is Williams. And he'll take this from the 9 down to about the 7. We're scoreless after 1. 2nd quarter about to begin from Denver. It's the Broncos in possession of the football as they come up now 2nd and goal. It's a bootleg with Winston. Rolling to his right. And he's got it. Touchdown, Broncos. A great play there with his first career NFL touchdown.
And the Broncos go coast to coast and finish the drive off with 6 points.
And again, it's no good. A few boo birds coming out as he's missed his second extra point here in the first half. So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off.
Taken at the 15, a short kick. And they'll be set up pretty nicely here as they have it up to the 35-yard line.
The Charger drive about to get going. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders.
That guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs, so they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them. He'll buy some time right.
He'll drop this one off to Eckler.
And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49.
And they'll use him out of the backfield, and sometimes quite a bit. They're just trying to get him touches any way they can. 4 catches a week ago, there's another one right there.
Running on first down, Eckler. And not a lot of daylight, not really any daylight inside as he's going to be stopped right at the line of scrimmage. Brings up second down.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, second and 10. Oh, he's got a little daylight. Touchdown, LA.
The CD, I mean, there are touchdown runs, and then there are touchdown runs, and that one certainly fell into the latter category. Now, that deserves a couple exclamation points.
Extra point good by Hopkins. And they take the lead here at 7-6. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken.
The Broncos take over first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Denver offense at the line, ready to go. And they had lost 2 in a row prior to getting the open week last weekend, so potentially a chance for them to get away for a bit, keel up, and come back strong.
That's what the hope is anyway, because you're going to find out now with your team, are you still focused on being the best you can be for the rest of the season with the things going the way they have earlier this year?
A good run, got 7 on first. Here's second and 3. Play action now, Winston. He finds his man, complete. It's Beck. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield.
Hold on a second. Was that the fullback? That was the fullback. Who says it to slot receivers? But the only guys who can catch the football and get big yardage after the catch. Really nice job there. Showing good hands and an ability to get upfield.
And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. Second and 6.
The passing game's been working quite well so far, but the running game's been a little bit of a struggle. That's a surprise to me. Typically, when you can throw it, you've opened up lanes for your runners.
They go play action. Winston. Eluding, and he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. The former number 3 pick, Joey Bosa, bringing the lumber that time.
Well, enough takes a start to have a good drive. Quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
Now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. A pass for Sutton is intercepted. Derwin James with a pick. And the Chargers will take over possession here up at the 44.
Well, really not much secret there. 3rd and long, Charles, that he was looking to throw the football. And I would imagine as a defender, you're kind of salivating in that spot, right?
You certainly are, because 3rd and long situations, they tip the scale towards the defense every single time. Now you're actually able to dictate and understand what the offense is trying to do. You know where the first down marker is. You set your defense that way, and maybe you can be a little more aggressive in certain situations because of that. You start focusing on your coverage assignment, and when the ball's released, you break on it and make a play, as we just saw there.
Now Eckler. 90 yards rushing for him here as he starts to close in now on 1,200 yards for the season.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
From the 38, Herbert. And that is incomplete here.
Well, to me, there was no question about the intent there, and I think he was a little fortunate that the penalty flag didn't come out for grounding. But he'll get away with it and get another shot on 3rd down.
Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down. A shotgun snap for Herbert. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Williams. And he'll go out of bounds inside the 15-yard line.
So many times in my career, I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing. But as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
Gun, Eckler running it. And this play gets blown up. They'll lose yardage. Back at the 17. It was Cameron Jordan who came in and got him.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness. He's the whole package. And that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
So their task a little bit more difficult now. 2nd and 13 that they're walking up on. From the shotgun, here's Herbert. Flush to his right. Over the middle, complete. It's Williams. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down. Creeping up on a minute to play in this first half. They'll try to pick up the first with Eckler. And he will be very close to a first down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means 4th down. It'll be a 2-yard gain, and that's going to make it 4th down. Needing the tough yards, they run it with their fullback. In lieu of the sneak on 4th and inches, they just say, give it to the big man in the backfield.
Yeah, fullback no less. Not many of those left in the NFL, but for those that have one, perfect time to use them, perfect time to get it done.
So quite a turn of events. This is 1st and goal from the 3. Trying to punch it in with Eckler. And he gets halfway there from the 4 to the 2 on a gain of 2. The Chargers going to signal for the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go here in the first half. From the 2 now, 2nd and goal. Here's Herbert. Flushed out right. And he takes it in for a Charger touchdown. Justin Herbert as the first half is winding down. And the Chargers are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Hopkins with the extra point, and the lead is up to 8.
Makes the score Chargers 14, Broncos 6.
So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away.
This is Jakeem Grant.
And he'll be brought down right on the chalk of the 20.
The Broncos take over 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive.
And we'll see what they opt to do with just 14 seconds remaining until intermission.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And he's going to drop this off to Williams. Complete. That catch good for only a couple.
Was that a receiver? Yeah, actually it was. It was a running back who was a receiver on the play. I think he's been spending time in the receiver drills getting his feet down.
Well, those guys out of the backfield, they got to be good, agile with their feet. He showed the agility there with a toe tap.
No doubt about it. It's like he'd run to ballet school. Got the toes down and stayed in bounds.
And he's able to get this one up to his 30 before he's out of bounds.
And a run like that shouldn't surprise anyone who's ever seen Javonte Williams play. Compact, strong, physical runner. He ran for 1,000 yards at North Carolina last year. In fact, it was over 1,100 and 19 touchdowns in addition. And that's despite sharing the backfield with another 1,000-yard rusher, Michael Carter, who was taken in the 4th round by the Jets. Najee Harris and Travis Etienne were taking over him, but many thought that Javonte Williams might be the best back in the draft.
Airing it out, looking for Ridley. Pass incomplete, but the flag in the backfield, and this might be a roughing call. The hit comes late. We saw it. There's your flag.
And we know that there's a guideline, right? Ball's gone. You get one step. If you're within one step of the quarterback, you can hit him as long as it's still done legally. But anything outside of that, looks like an extra step was involved.
Final play of the half here. Winston. He'll let this go deep for Sutton. And incomplete on the deep ball. So we have reached halftime. Intermission with the visiting Chargers on top. As we send you on out to our studios in Orlando, here's Jonathan Coachman at REA Sports Halftime Report. Okay, Coach, appreciate it. A one-touchdown game here as we get set to resume play in the second half. It'll be the Broncos getting the football first in this second half as they trail, and we are back underway. Jakeem Grant now to return. And he will make it to the 20-yard line and no further. Denver offense at the line, ready to go.
And they're still very much in this game, although they do trail. What's the game plan, Charles, for the second half?
It might be a little counterintuitive because most people will think losing equals passing the ball more, but I'd establish the running game. They kind of went away from it in the first half. I think if they get back in balance, it'll help them when they put the ball back in the air.
from the 22. Winston escaping the pressure right. Airing it out, looking for Ridley. And that's caught inside the 30. And all the way down to the 22-yard line. A huge play there for Denver.
In our pregame meeting, all they talked about was keeping him hemmed in and wanting him to make his throws from the pocket because they knew he was pretty dangerous if he got outside, and he just showed it right there. Pretty good arm, too.
Now a 10th carry. Here's Williams. And he'll take this inside the 20 and down to the 18. The excellent play last time is followed by a much more routine gain of 3.
I have to think a major focus at the halftime, Minks, had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the first level, make sure that block's secured before they slide off and try and chip someone at the second level.
Winston from the gun on 3rd down. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Khalil Mack picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon. Now Brandon McManus for the Bronco field goal. They'll put it down right at the 40, so call this a 50-yard attempt. And this is going to wind up left. Well struck, but it's no good.
Always disappointing when you miss a field goal, but when you're playing against a defense this good, you and I both know that's a crucial miss because you can't afford to leave any points out there. You've got to take them when you can.
The Charger drive about to get going, and they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
And that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage a little too good there, and it's 2nd down. 2nd and 10. They'll run out of the gun with Eckler. And not much room to operate as he'll get this up only to about the 41. They do get a yard there, but only a yard. Leaves them with 3rd and 9 looming. A play fake, and now Herbert to throw. Sliding out of the pocket. And this is caught. First catch for Keenan Allen. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. A big game that time for the Chargers.
It doesn't look like this defense found the magic elixir at halftime. This offense was rolling in the first half, and that's continued here in the 3rd quarter. Another big play right there.
Under pressure, and down he goes. They sack him back at the 36. It looks like a loss of right around 11 there on 1st down to set him back on 2nd. So 2nd and long, and got to be careful not to fall out of field goal range. Another try after the 1st down sack. Herbert under pressure. They got him again. Randy Gregory in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year.
Well, this is what happens when you get behind the chains, as people like to say. When you have obvious passing situations, hard to vary it up and fool a defense.
And you hate those situations if you're an O-lineman, right?
Oh, without a doubt, because you just know they're coming, and you never know exactly how. They can be exotic in their blitzes, or their athletic ability just takes over.
Flush to his right. And they'll get this to the 30-yard line before crossing over out of bounds. Able to pick up a dozen yards, but they needed more. 4th down.
Well, partner, nothing comes open here, so he decides to escape out of there, and he doesn't pick up a 1st down, but he does gain additional yardage to set up a possible field goal attempt if they decide to go that route.
So it's an empty possession, and as a kicker, not the way you want to start your day's work.
And now each team's missed a field goal here so far, Brandon, so apparently neither guy is immune.
Goes onto the field, ready to start their next drive. They start the drive on the ground. It's Williams. And they will only muster a yard here to the 38.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Jameis to throw it. Over the middle, complete to Judy. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
An extra cornerback now in the game for the Chargers here on 3rd. From the gun, Winston. And he's got a man, Calvin Ridley. And he'll be out just a yard or 2 shy of the 30.
With the kind of game he's had so far, you had to know that on 3rd down that they would be looking his way, and they did, for big yardage and a 1st down. I think the defense fell asleep at the switch on that one. I would have doubled him, tripled him, anything to keep the ball out of his hands.
Off the play fake, Winston. And he checks this one down to Williams. And he is out of bounds inside the 30. And that's good for a gain of 6, and it'll be a 2nd down.
Just about every quarterback is trained to really look downfield first before you come back and make a nice, safe throw. And in this case, that's exactly what he did. Found his running back, let him create some space, and it turned out to be a nice play for the offense.
A 7-yard gain. That's good.
And that is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. So here's a 1st and 10 now, down inside the 20. Play fake, Winston. Goes right side, complete to Gronk. A gain of 6 there on 1st. Certainly worth noting he's now 1 catch away from 600. He's at 599 in his career. They'll throw again. Winston. And he's got Gronkowski yet again. And the Broncos are going to have a 1st and goal coming up as the tackle made at the 3-yard line. That reception, his 600th NFL catch. Congratulations. Quite the accomplishment. Williams able to get a couple here, but won't get across the plane as they stop him right around the 1.
Well, they certainly had success throwing the ball on this drive, and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play. Stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally, because otherwise, pass rushers just tee off on your quarterback. Makes it very, very difficult for him in that situation.
Williams again, and he'll get in. Touchdown, Denver. Javonte Williams, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Broncos have a chance to tie things up as they trail by 2 here in the 4th. All right, now a big 2-point conversion attempt still to come. Winston to throw for it. To the end zone, but it's incomplete. And a failure to convert and tie the game. Now the pressure shifts back to the defense.
But I think it was the right play. I think it was the right call to try and tie the game there. Kick an extra point, you're still down 1. What's the sense? I like what they did.
And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The Charger drive about to get going. They've been asleep for a little while on this side of the football, Charles, and the score is just a one-score game now. Haven't had any points this half. What gives?
Let's go old school here. All right, let's get back to the basics. Get back to running the football, high percentage throws. Find the guys that eat pressure and make plays for you and make sure they touch it.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. It's Ekeler again. 109 yards rushing for him so far as his terrific season continues here.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with, and throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a first down, he's the guy they've turned to, and it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They feel like they've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage.
The handoff, it's Ekeler. And I think we've got a hold here. It's a 5-yard pickup for the moment. Let's see what our referee says. They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. On to give. This is Ekeler. Powerful running. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. They get a good chunk of that penalty yardage back. A gain of 15. 2nd down. Working with 2nd and 5 now. Here is Ekeler. And he works his way forward for about 4 up to the midfield stripe. The recipe's pretty simple, I think, right? Just give your superstar the ball, continue to feed him.
Yeah, don't overthink this one, right? Make sure he's touching the football, but you're also counting on his intelligence in playing the game as well. If it's not there, don't force the run. Just make sure you hang on to the football and keep the clock ticking.
The Chargers on 3rd down, 2 for 5 to this point. This time they face a 3rd and 2. Going on the ground with Ekeler. And he gets this one across midfield for the first down to the 46.
Well, it is our business to analyze what we saw out there. And on that play, I saw a defense staying in base, not taking a chance, not blitzing in a situation where they absolutely need the football back. That's either a case of overthinking it or not thinking it through.
If you do blitz, do you have to be careful about where you're coming from, or are you just coming from all angles?
You have to be careful about where you're coming from, obviously. But at this stage, you have to take a few chances as well.
Steps away. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off by Justin Simmons. And the Broncos are right back in this football game. Denver offense at the line, ready to go. A golden opportunity for them now following the interception. They need to try to at least get 3. Obviously, a touchdown puts them in a much more secure position. And he's upended at the 33 following a good pickup of 8.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33. Winston. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory.
He gets his first catch there, but all in all, when you're talking about the #1 receiver in the NFL coming into this game, and we're just talking about the first catch there, I think they're doing a nice job of bottling him up.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on 1st down. This is Ingram on 1st and 10. 5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5. Decided to hand it off that time on the run-pass option.
Appeared to be an easy decision. Just gave it inside. Nice steady gain.
2nd and 5 now. Winston.
And this one's incomplete.
I didn't like the look of that play right from the beginning. I thought he should have seen the coverage that was there, tried to force it in. That one, he's fortunate, just fell incomplete.
They will look for some important yardage on third down. From here, it would be a 60-yard boot. Here's Winston. And this is caught. It's pulled in by Gronkowski. And he's brought to the ground with another first down at the Chargers' 19. 2 minutes remain, and that's our score differential as well. 2 points here in the fourth quarter.
First and 10 at the 19-yard line.
So it's Bronco football as we get you reset here. They come up on a first and 10, desperately needing a score here on what could be their final drive. On play action, Winston on the move to his left, and he just throws this one away. Smart decision here this close to the end zone, and it brings up second down.
That's certainly not the worst thing. It stops the clock and lets your offense catch its breath and lets us exhale a little bit. Now I expect them to call a couple plays in the huddle, so they're ready if a tackle happens inbounds.
And he's only going to get a yard from the 20 to the 19. And now we're going to get a timeout defensively. So another stop, 1:50 left in the football game. Now play number 7 of this drive, but it's a tough 3rd and 9. They run it again with Williams. And boy, he is very close to a first down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short. Have to kick this field goal, don't you?
No question about it. Look at the clock. Look at the situation. Kick the field goal.
One score down. Here we go. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. On the give, this is their fullback. And he will have the first down inside the 10 to the 9-yard line.
And yes, everyone, that was the fullback carrying the football. I know it's a dying breed, it's a dying position for a lot of people, but I still think it's valuable and important, especially one who can carry the ball.
And you need short yardage. What makes sense? Go to a big body, let him plow forward just like he did there.
It's still a big man's game.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. Oh, no, he lost the football. And picked up by the Chargers. He's at the 50, 30, 10. And this defense has broken it open as they return it to the house for 6. And now, as with every potential turnover, they're going to take a second look at this just to make sure. And the question, was the knee in fact down before this ball comes loose? And is the video convincing enough to overturn it?
A lot of factors here. Remember, you also need clear possession of the football afterwards. This is a tough one to overturn.
Very fortunate to get another shot. Here's 2nd and goal. Now a man who's been busy this afternoon, it's Williams. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4.
Well, Brandon, we always know that once you score 1 touchdown,
you want 2.
You're without a doubt. And so far today, he's got 1, but was denied as he tried to get the second one.
3rd and goal at the 4-yard line.
It looks like he's going to be stopped short of the first down by about a yard. This defense bending but not breaking. It's a gain of 3. It's now 4th and goal. Now the timeout will be called, so they're in field goal range with 3 seconds left. So this thing rests on the shoulders of Brandon McManus. With 3 seconds to go, this for the win. And his kick is indeed good. And they have regained the lead. So this one will wind up a Denver victory. And I tell you what, one thing that you and I featured as a storyline was that they were facing the NFL's #1 defense coming in. And they really took it right to them.
Yeah, they didn't blink, did they? And instead of just saying to themselves, let's make sure that we minimize our mistakes and try and play a conservative-type game, they attacked right from the beginning. Said, we got to go after these guys. I think sometimes you take the #1 rated defense by surprise when you do that.
So for Denver, they move back over 500 now at 6-5. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Kansas City Chiefs. Meanwhile, for the Chargers, we'll see how this affects their playoff standing as they fall to 7-4 now on the year. And they'll try to turn things around next week.